majority of that innovation comes from people who are within an age group which essentially are right at the core of the academic research, academic development right now. On top of this, the development is, so these are the target customers and these are the target creators as well. So in essence, in interacting with academia is not just helping the supply side of valuable resources coming our way, but also it's a way of creating the right demand and making sure that the people who are the eventual market for these solutions are part of the creation process, which in my opinion is a critical thing. From Ericsson's point of view, globally, this has been something that we are very proud of, and we've been working with international institutes since as far as we can remember. I mean, it's a 140 years old university, and I don't think since its very inception we have ever had a time where we were not working actively with academic institutes for research, for collaboration, for development projects and everything else. But we are trying to bring that now into the regional impact as well. We are working very closely, and it's with the same state of mind that we want to impact both the supply side, so that we have, as well as the demand side. So we are trying to work with. I'm happy to announce. I mean, you will hear about it as well. We recently signed an MOU with the UAE University, which is the oldest institute of the UAE, and the very core of that MOU, the very core of that collaboration, is that we are going to work together to see how we can develop use cases which are relevant to the country, which will be tested on campus, and then that can be brought into the market. So these are practical steps that we're doing, and the thing is, Ericsson alone cannot do this. So the way we are doing this is that we're not alone in that. We're not alone in that. Service providers, government stakeholders, the agencies which are involved. For example, autonomous driving is a big thing as part of that initiative. So we have our partners who are working there in that context, and we want to develop very tangible outcomes out of this, not just very physical, very high level ones. While we are doing that on what I say is a mix of more a supply side, trying to bring use cases into the market, on the demand side, we are also working very closely with the graduate programs across all of the Middle East, across all of the Arab market, which are aimed at, so we recently launched a program here in the UAE, for example, where we are bringing young graduates into Ericsson with a very clear view of 9 months to a year worth of training program. Then this is not, they will be employees of Ericsson, but they will be there as a 1 year worth of training in which we will work with them on specific targets, specific solutions, and groom them not only from the from the technological point of view, but Ericsson, we are dealing with the likes of Etisalat, do in UAE, and all the other big operators across Middle East. So there's a big business aspect involved as well. The technological evolution discussion, and we want to prepare them for the next step that is going to be eventually when they're done with the program, they can join us. They will be welcome to join us, or even if they want to join Siemens, for example, or any other company for that matter, they will contribute to the workforce of the country. And this is very much in line with, we are still talking about academia and industry. But if you see, pick any country that you like. UAE is a fantastic example. Egypt is another, Saudi is another. Look at their national plans, which are targeted for somewhere between 5 to 10 years in the future. You would be struggling to find any one of them that does not include building a strong education curriculum, building a strong workforce for the future, building a strong, building strength based on the youth of the country. So what we are trying to do is, in a way, the government is already there, but we are trying to bring those, we are trying to connect these initiatives back to the national agendas so that we can help them create a policy framework which will be needed to make sure that whatever we do on a small scale is then supported. And at the risk of hogging the mic for a few more minutes, I will say, I want to put a very tangible example there. The autonomous driving consortium that I mentioned to you just now, that is, we are very well aware that the UAE government made a very clear announcement that by 2030, 25% of all public transport trips will have to be autonomous. Now that requires some thought, some work to be done. Well, so our ambition is that we will work with the academia, we will work with the government to make sure that those national agenda focuses can be achieved. And I think that's the best way for us to contribute in the country. And it's not just contributing for the sake of contribution. We think that we will be better off by that contribution as well. So thank you very much again for the opportunity, and we look forward and we invite all the partners that are sitting here to see if we can work further and build on these initiatives so that we can, the more of us get together, the better impact, the bigger impact we'll create. Thank you very much.
Excellent. So, Mr. Baghwan, digital transformation, how do you see that, how do you apply that concept to your relationship with academia?
So we have a very interesting approach over here, and I completely agree with the points mentioned by both of our colleagues over here. And what we see is that we're not just focusing on the students, we are trying to kind of equip the university professors as well, right? We have different programs at different levels for different kind of students as well, right? So we are seeing students who are kind of, very exceptional in their curriculum, especially when they are in grade 5 or grade 8 or grade 12, and we have dedicated programs for them to enable them on certain skills, right? We also have certain programs which are kind of focused more on universities and which kind of can go